Good morning, one and all. Welcome back to Red's Homestead. As you can see, it is raining all day yesterday, the day before, today, and the next few days. So, outdoor projects probably not going to happen. But there is a few things that I noticed that I've got to take care of. And so my little drainage isn't working as well as it should. Let me go get an umbrella.
Welcome to Red's Homestead!
Luckily, I did get my cage delivered today. My new rabbit cage. So that little man over there is not going to be perched up on here. Yeah, so that must be. You're always the curious one. But back to the drain. So we got it collecting right here from all the wood chips. Looks like it rushed it down and made its own little dam. So I've got to get that scraped out. But I mean, it is draining down through here pretty decently. Kind of how I wanted. But it's definitely not the low point. That's the low point. So it's either build up and release from over there, and that's why it's doing it, or it's just not finding its way to the gutter. So I'm gonna go dig this out a little bit to make sure that water drains how I want it to. And then I got a couple indoor projects I can take care of. I'm gonna get my seeds planted because I failed miserably on my indoor seeds that I did a few weeks ago. My lettuce and kale and broccoli, and they're just not doing so well. So I'm going to do it the way that I used to always do it. This was an experiment using this cocoa stuff, those fibers that you put water in and it fully expands. I'll show you a brick of it, and it was just terrible. It didn't work very well. So I'm going to use what I normally use, some seed potting mix, soil starting mix, and I've always been successful with that. So something good to do indoors. First, gotta start this drainage. Looks like that's all it was. It was dammed up right there, so it seems to be flowing pretty well now into the gutter and onto the other side. So I'm gonna have to think about doing some kind of retaining out here so that the wood chips doesn't fill the gutter. Maybe some kind of little like barrier that we have over there on what Shannon did. I can do a little bit around here in the front, so that we don't have this. But let's see how our wood chips are doing. So we're at about probably 3 inches of rain right now for the day. And one thing that's nice about these wood chips, so there's definitely no major washout anymore. We put probably a good 8 inches down on here, but we could really easily see the low spots. It's still over here is the low spots, and I gotta definitely take care of that once it's nicer weather. It's because it's just going to run off into the chicken coop as long as it's right there. But I wanted to go, I'm going to try to show you without pointing fingers, but go that way down to my drain, and then from here go that way down my driveway. But very pleased with the way this is looking. I mean, soaking it up like a sponge. And more we put on there, the better and better it's going to work. Just looking out over here, you can see we got a natural channel that comes down here and flows, and everything meets in the Grand Canyon. So, I mean, I don't think there's any way to not have water coming through here. I just have to figure out a way to keep it from washing anything out over here. what I'd love to do is, about where you see that pipe, it'd be really cool to have like a pondish or something, maybe this high, and then that pond can overflow and source down to the orchard down here. That would be amazing, but I don't know where my septic is. Somewhere around here, and I don't want to go digging a hole and finding something I don't want to find. But this used to be, when it rained like this, just mud caked high, and just this little bit of grass is holding everything together pretty well. So it's not that big of a runoff like it used to be, and it's not digging trenches over here. So at least that part's done. This is still collecting water, so it must be just a low point that I can't really tell when I was originally walking it, because my extended drain is working perfectly, bypassing this area. But it looks like this is still just a low spot. I'm just gonna have to get fill dirt and just raise it up so it, or maybe I could just throw a whole bunch of mulch here that'll eventually settle down into some kind of topsoil that I can grow on. But not an emergency, because this will be where trees are, and then that'll really soak up the water. Let's check on our new grass. Looks like it's not washing out either. A little, I got a little bit down over here, but oh. Don't need a sprinkler running. Let me go from this direction. Well, yeah, it does. It did wash out down there, which is a bummer. But I see some clover starting to come up. Clover seeds. No fescue yet, but it was a little warm. So I'm hoping that now that it's cooled down to the 70s, this fescue, hopefully it didn't get washed out, and I actually have some grass growing. Can't stop Mother Nature. All right, I'm gonna get some seeds planted. All right, guys, so what you're gonna see me do, this is my seed disaster. I think it just got too warm in here because it was in the 80s, and then this light, or actually it was almost to the 90s, and then this light just heats this room up, and then all this visual right here is outside sun, and this doesn't have the best, it only has one vent from the AC, and it doesn't reach out here very well. So this room gets pretty warm. So I'm going to leave those. I might take those and put them outside or something, see what happens. But now it's getting cooler, I'm going to leave them, see if they do anything. But what I'm used to is using bigger pots like this versus the small, tiny little seed trays, and using actual real soil instead of this stuff that I tried. It was just terrible. I don't know, I mean, it has no nutrients in it. So I'll hold on to that. Maybe try another test for my spring. But right now, I want some seeds, and I want them started. So I'm gonna do it my way. I'll probably have to get some more soil, but we're gonna get this done. So there you have it. New round 2 for seeds. What I did, I have arugula in this. This is a lettuce variety. This is a lettuce variety. I did some peas, snap peas, or sugar peas in here. I added some snap peas to this one. Testing out the seed tray there, I just did like some mesclun mix in both of this, and just dispersed a little bit in the dead cells in there. See if it happens. And One thing I did do is I dimmed my light a little bit, and I'm gonna see if I can find, I had a little portable AC, like evaporator type cooler. I'm gonna put that in here too and see if it can keep this a little cooler for these seeds to start. So I'm gonna clean up and get everything started.